Claire, what you doing?
Just looking through Netflix.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill. What about
No.
Switch?
Yeah.
Safe Haven.
That's a good one, but I don't know. You should watch She's the Man.
Oh yeah, perfect.
What's your name?
Sebastian Hastings.
Duke Orsino. Oh, okay.
Some popcorn?
Yeah, sounds good. Oh my gosh, that smells so good.
Here you go. So what's happened?
Well, this girl Viola dresses up as her brother and goes to her soccer school, Illyria.
Weird, doesn't that kind of remind you of Shakespeare?
Yeah, I know you're reading College English.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of weird. Like the
Weird.
same names and everything. Okay, that movie was way too similar to the 12th Night.
Yeah, I mean like Illyria and Sebastian and Cesario.
Viola.
Yeah, it's way too weird.
William Shakespeare was born in 1564, later married Anne Hathaway, and had 3 children. He first became famous for being a notable poet, and later became a member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, an elite acting group in London. He owned a share of the Globe Theatre and wrote 37 plays in his lifetime.
Twelfth Night is said to have been written between 1601 and 1602. Many declare that Twelfth Night connects the gaps between the final Hamlet and Troilus and Cressida. It is classified as a self-parody, meaning it contains many of Shakespeare's personal qualities within this piece.
Shakespeare is rumored to have played the part of Antonio in a few renditions of this play. In true Shakespearean fashion, he mocks the mechanical operations of the spirit in numerous ways. The title, which plays on the 12th night after Christmas, also known as the Feast of Epiphany, reveals the comedic characteristics of Shakespeare and the relevance of the practical jokes both within and outside the play. In the scene we'll be performing from Act 1, Scene 4 of the 12th Night,
Orsino asks Viola for a strange favor, which has many complications. Orsino is a powerful nobleman of the land. In the beginning of the play, he is consumed with thoughts of Olivia, but soon finds himself amused by Viola, who is at this time dressed as Cesario. Orsino is a profound egoist and is one of the foil characters of Viola, considering he gets caught up in whimsical love. In She's the Man, Channing Tatum plays Duke, the soccer star at Illyria, who is Orsino's character in the movie.
Olivia is Orsino's wealthy, noble, and beautiful love interest. Although men are seeking to court her, she refuses because she is still in mourning over losing her brother. She is convinced to not marry for 7 years. Olivia tends to wallow in her own misery, and this only changed when Cesario is put into her life. Laura Ramsey plays Olivia Lennox in She's the Man. She is the girl who is crazily in love with Sebastian.
Sebastian is Viola's long-lost twin brother. Viola believes that he has passed away because she has not seen him. When he arrives in Illyria, he discovers that many people think they know him. For example, Lady Olivia, whom Sebastian has never met, wants to marry him. Sebastian is played by James Kirk in She's the Man. He goes to London for a few weeks and is not heard of while on his trip.
Malvolio is the head servant at Olivia's household. He believes that Olivia is in love with him, which transforms his personality from a conformist to a state of self-delusion, making him believe he is higher in social status. Many critics have considered him the most complex and fascinating character in Twelfth Night.
The play opens in the land of Illyria, near present-day Slovenia. While Orsino professes his love for Lady Olivia with the words, "If music be the food of love, play on." At the same time, Viola is at sea discussing her brother Sebastian and his fate with the captain. Viola learns about Orsino and Olivia and wishes that she could someday work for Olivia. Viola offers much money to the captain to help her make a disguise to work for the noble rulers. She takes on the disguise of a man named Cesario and finds her place in their home. This sets the scene of Viola and Orsino's encounter in Act 1, Scene 4.
Valentine is one of Orsino's attendants, and he is sent to win over Lady Olivia on Orsino's behalf.
In this scene, Viola, dressed as Cesario, arrives to have a conversation with Duke Orsino.
Duke Orsino asks a favor of Viola, which is to try and win over Olivia's love.
If the Duke continue these favors towards you, Cesario, you are likely to be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you are no stranger.
You either fear his humor or my negligence, that you call in question the continuance of his love. Is he inconsistent, sir, in his favors?
Leave me.
I thank you. Here comes the Count.
Who saw Cesario ho?
On your attendance, my lord, here.
While aloof, Cesario, thou knowst no less but all, I have unclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her. Do not be denied access. Stand at her doors and tell them, there thy fixed foot shall grow until thou have audience.
Sure, my noble lord, if she so abandoned to her sorrow, as it is spoke, she will never admit me.
Be calamitous and leap all civil bounds, rather than make unprofited return.
What if I speak with her, my lord? What then?
Will then unfold the passion of my love, surprise her with the discourse of my dear faith. It shall become thee well to act my woes. She will attend it better in thy youth than in nuncios of more grave aspect.
Think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it, for they shall yet belie thy happy years. Thou say thou art a man. Diana's lip is not more smooth and rubious. Thy shell pipe is as a maiden's organ, shrill and sound. And all is semblative a woman's part. I know that consolation is right apt. For this affair, some 4 or 5 attend him. All, if you will, for I am myself best, when least in company. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, to call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. Yet a barful strife, whoever I woo myself would be his wife.
Viola, dressed as Cesario, goes to Olivia's palace to profess Orsino's love for her.
During the pursuit of Olivia and the time spent together, Viola discovers she is falling in love with Orsino.
Sebastian, Viola's twin, whom she thought died in a shipwreck, shows up on the shores of Illyria. The main plot of the story is the entanglement of characters within a love triangle. In the beginning, Orsino is found professing his love for Olivia through Viola's character, who is dressed as Cesario. At this point in the narrative, Olivia is refusing to marry because she is grieving the loss of her brother. When Cesario arrives at Olivia's, she soon realizes that she is in whimsical love with Cesario. While Viola is dressed as Cesario, a connection is made between her and Orsino. Orsino feels a strong bond with who he thinks is Cesario, while Viola is falling in love with him.
Act 2 opens with Viola's twin brother, Sebastian, and his acquaintance, Antonio, as they arrive on the shores of Illyria. It soon switches over to Olivia's palace, where Maria, the head servant, is getting frustrated with Sir Toby and Sir Andrew, as they are drunkenly obnoxious. Provoked by their behavior, she decides to write false love letters to Malvolio, signed by Olivia. When Malvolio receives the false letters, he truly believes Olivia loves him.
In Act 3, Sir Toby tries to convince Sir Andrew to battle Cesario for Olivia's love. In a different setting, Antonio is detained by the courts for committing piracy against Illyria. While being captured, he sees Cesario and asks for his purse. In a confusing manner, this is the revealing of Cesario's true identity. In hopes to mess with Malvolio even more, Toby, Maria, and Fabian detain Malvolio in a dark room, representing the evil of the outside world.
The beginning of Act 4, Malvolio starts to compose a letter responding to Olivia's supposed letters. Olivia then asks Sebastian to marry, because she is tricked by his appearance and believes he is truly Cesario.
In the last act of the play, Orsino finds the letters between Malvolio and Olivia. Orsino recalls Antonio from a sea battle, which adds to the confusion in this story.
Viola then tries to protest Antonio's kindness that he has shown. Viola's true identity is revealed in a conversation with Antonio and Orsino.
In this scene, Antonio professes that he has been with Cesario, or Viola, since the shipwreck, and this is when Orsino says that this is not possible. Viola declares her love for Orsino, and he reciprocates those feelings, and Sebastian and Olivia marry.
Malvolio is released from the dark room. The secrets behind the false letters is revealed, and he leaves the palace angrily. The play ends with the foreshadowing of a double wedding between Sebastian and Olivia and Orsino and Viola. Act 1, Scene 4 is important to the rest of the play because it is the beginning of the disguise and foreshadows the trickery of the play. This is the first scene where Viola disguises herself as Cesario, which causes her later to become close with Orsino. This scene sets the tone of the play with its comical aspects and foreshadows Orsino's love-obsessed characteristics.
Desire and love is a major theme because all characters experience this. Shakespeare comments on Orsino's ridiculous love poetry, clearly showing that Orsino is in love with the idea of being in love more than with his supposed lovers. Shakespeare puts a love triangle into literature for one of the first times. In Twelfth Night, Orsino falls in love with Olivia, while Olivia falls in love with Cesario and later falls in love with Viola's brother Sebastian. Orsino later discovers that he truly loves Viola.
Uncertainty of gender is another main theme of this play. While Viola is disguising herself as a man, her false front fools Olivia into falling in love with her. This disguise also implies that male and female distinctions are not set in stone. Shakespeare addresses the controversial topic of gender assignment. Throughout the play, he stands firm in the fact that actions are more influential than born qualities when discussing gender.
Love as a cause of suffering is another theme brought up in Twelfth Night. Throughout the play, Shakespeare demonstrates how much pain love can cause. The idea of love causes many characters to believe that they are under a curse, therefore causing them tremendous amounts of pain.
Contributing to the themes of the play are many symbols. The first symbol introduced is Olivia's gifts. In Twelfth Night, Olivia sends gifts to her love, Cesario, in hopes that it will win him over. In the first incident, she sends him a ring, hoping it will portray her true feelings towards him. On the second occasion, she mistakes Sebastian for Cesario and sends him a pearl. These gifts serve as a physical symbol of her undying attachment to the characters.
Another symbol in this play is the darkness. Malvolio's downfall is contributed to by Sir Toby and Maria when they confine him in a dark chamber. They try to convince him that the room is actually light and that it is his own madness that is making the room dark. The clever trickery of words describes that the darkness, or the madness, is actually outside with the unjust characters that imprisoned him.
Contributing to the idea of class distinction, clothes can serve as a symbol of both changes in gender as well as fooling social status. Clearly, as Viola changes her costume, she becomes a completely different character. Many servants fantasize about swapping clothes with noblemen. This tricks the reader into believing that it is the clothes, not the qualities, that distinguish the character's social class in this society.
In Harold Bloom's personal opinion, he states that Twelfth Night is the best of Shakespeare's pure comedies. Compared to Henry IV, Part 1, Twelfth Night is much more comical because in Henry IV, Falstaff focuses more on intelligent ideas than humor. In Twelfth Night, Fess is the only character with any mind, and all other characters are clueless. Bloom believes that the play should be performed in a more upbeat manner, and also declares that the title should be What You Will, because it has a stronger attachment to the plot. Harold Bloom states that the play is always on the edge of violence, but Shakespeare turns the situation comical. He also suggests that Malvolio is in the wrong play, as he is a sad character in such a humorous play. In our opinion, Twelfth Night has been an easier read compared to the other Shakespearean plays that we have read.
Having seen She's the Man first and knowing a basic plot outline of the play before even reading it, it made it easier to understand.
The characters' relationships and the love triangle were similar in each work.
If we hadn't seen the movie first, it would have been harder to distinguish characters and their qualities.
Compared to Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and Hamlet, this was more of a comedy, which made it more fun to read.
It was entertaining and engaging because it seemed kind of modern.
Although the language was the same, it seemed more fluent and easier to read.
Overall, Twelfth Night has been our favorite Shakespearean work because of the modern quality and comical aspect.